Romans 12. I beseech you therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God.
Hey, Shalom. Praises to you. How about you? Yahweh Shai, Bashem Rakakwadash, much mercy to you, sincere brothers that's fully in the covenant with the Lord right now. Shalom to all you haters and you false prophets of the Lord, bringing heresies and teaching against the Lord in these last days. Shalom to you. And one thing, too, I wanted to add to the lesson that I did earlier, going into the hidden manner, going into the new covenant, going into the heart of the new covenant. The new covenant and the heart of flesh, they are synonymous with each other, because the new covenant is having a heart of flesh. It is something hidden. You know, it's not of the letter, but it's actually of hidden. So it's not something that is accepted by the world. That's why the Lord, he didn't come to make this his kingdom. So like, he didn't have a place in the world. Like he said, if this was my kingdom, my servants will fight. So you have guys fighting for this world and fighting to keep their place. This is what happened in John 11. So you got to understand the understanding of the hidden manner. And Yahweh Shai, the new covenant is for the election, but it's a hidden thing from the world. That's why the multitude is going to perish, and nobody really understands the secret and the mysteries like that. The mysteries ain't just a bunch of prophecies. The mysteries is in Esau and the EU and all that. That's not the real mystery. The real mystery is that the election and the ones of the Lord in the new covenant, they all belong with each other, but this is something that's going to be hidden from the world. And what you have to understand about that is that in this time, those mysteries are not revealed unto everybody like that, especially these guys in these churches and these groups. Their thing is to give you a doctrine to where you don't fully get to understand the understanding of the elect, which is hidden, because they're not teaching the doctrine of the new covenant. Their doctrine has to do with the world. Now, I want to go into Romans. I was looking at this, man, in Romans 11, being the time of the Gentiles, where we're at the end of the time of the Gentiles. What's happening is these mysteries are being uncovered. The mystery of you being an Israelite and Esau, this, that, and the third, that's nothing but just the tip of the iceberg, and guys figuring out they're Israelites. That's not really the mystery like that. The mystery is of Yahweh Shai in the new covenant, which that's what the Lord did, and that's why these things are being revealed. The Lord set it to where you can't just say that you're of the Lord. You have to be of the Lord from the heart. And the ones that's of the Lord from the heart, they're going to recognize and understand the mysteries. And by the heart, they're going to identify as the elect and by Yahweh Shai. A lot of guys, they're not identifying as the elect and as of the Lord. They're just identifying that they're in the camp, or they know some prophecies. But the true mystery is of Yahweh Shai. It has nothing to do with this world like that. Romans 11:25, for I would not, brethren, that ye should be ignorant of this mystery, that ye should be wise in your own conceits, that the blindness is happening to Israel until the fullness of the Gentiles come in. Right. So we're in the time of the fullness of the Gentiles. Luke speaks about the time of the Gentiles being fulfilled too. So we're at the fullness and the height of their kingdom. Now, because the majority of people have evil hearts, they have a place here with these Gentiles and these heathens right now. They're blinded with this world, with the scriptures, the Bible, and this, that, and the third. What the majority of guys that's teaching, they're corrupted and their hearts are darkened. So the thing about it is, they're not going to give you the full understanding of the mystery, which has to do with the new covenant and Yahushua. The new covenant is something hidden. It is for the elite, the election of our nation, and not everybody's going to get that. But a lot of people are going to get that they're Israelites. But the higher level to this is understanding that you are the elect, that you have the heart, and you were born to actually serve Yahushua and to actually believe in the Lord. And that's what this mystery is really, of something being hidden. Not something is being seen of the world, but more or less like the election is something of a hidden thing. It is hidden away. The treasures of it's not going to be made plain to these guys that are wicked, because the way they're breaking down not being in the new covenant, it's all carnal. So clearly, the breakdown of you needing new bodies, clearly by them breaking it down like that, the mystery of the new covenant and the new heart and the heart of flesh, it hasn't been given to them, because they don't have a renewed mind, or they don't have a heart of flesh, because they have stony hearts. So you could honestly see that guys they have a little bit understanding of the scriptures, and they might have history, and they might know all this info. But when it comes to understanding the breakdown of the heart of flesh, that the Lord is going to write his laws in you for this time. If the Lord is not in you, or if you're not with the Lord right now, you're not going to make it. So these guys teaching you're waiting on something, that means that they're waiting and they're not going to make it, because they're waiting on something. And in other words, if they had the mystery of the new covenant and Yahushua, right, then the thing is, if they had that mystery and they really understood Yahushua, they would be teaching the new covenant. They would be fighting for Yahushua. But what they're doing is, because Yahushua is being taught by us few and the new covenant is being taught, what that does is that helps bring an end to this world. So you have these groups and these guys that set up against it. Because this is, if the elect wake up and figure out that really these camps, they don't have the whole truth like that, because they don't have Yahushua. Guys are scoffing at the idea that the covenant is what do they say? They make it seem like it's so far off that the new covenant, you can't be in a covenant in Jacob's trouble and all this. Most definitely you need to be in the new covenant right now with Jacob's trouble here. This is Jacob's trouble. You're living in it. These guys are not fulfilling anything because they don't have the covenant. You have to be under the covenant to fulfill the scriptures. That's another mystery too. So by guys putting the covenant off, they're not fulfilling anything right now. So the new heart of flesh is a mystery, which is being made known in these last times of the Gentiles. Romans 11:25, but I would not, brethren, that ye may be ignorant of this mystery, lest ye be wise in your own conceit. Because we're coming back to Yahushua, not everybody right at this time. You see? You have to understand that everybody is not a part of Yahushua in this this go around. That's why the Lord said, basically, if you're not without Yahushua, you can't do nothing. And this is what you got to understand. If you're not abiding in Yahushua right now, then you're not doing anything. You're just you're standing in the way. So this is what you got to understand. It says, for I would not, brethren, that ye should be ignorant of this mystery, lest ye should be wise in your own conceits, that blindness in part is happened to Israel until the fullness of the Gentiles come in. So we're the fullness of the Gentiles, and a lot of guys they're with the Gentiles, and they're still in the Gentile mind state, teaching the scriptures in unbelief. They can't believe that they're in the covenant because they don't have a heart and a mind to do that. They scoff at that idea, being in Jacob's trouble in the covenant. Like, what's hard about that? The covenant is the only thing that's going to cover you. It says, for this is my covenant unto them, when I shall take away their sins. As concerning the gospel, they are enemies for your sake, but as touching the election, they are beloved for the Father's sake. So the election, the mystery is the election have obtained it within their hearts, not outwardly, not outside as everybody can see it, or like, yeah, people gonna know you're Israelites, but inwardly nobody's gonna know that they're the election. They're not going to be convicted. Only the few are going to understand that. Romans 2:28, for he is not a Jew which is one outwardly, neither is that of the circumcision which is outward in the flesh. Right, guys are going to know that they're Jews outwardly. It says, but he is a Jew which is one inwardly, and circumcision is of the heart and in the spirit, and not in the latter, whose praise is not of men, but of God. So the election of God are not going to be praised and honored of men. They're going to be praised and honored of the Lord, not of men, not of camps. Matter of fact, when you go to John 5, the Lord said that he was dishonored of men. He wasn't honored of men. The Lord was dishonored. He didn't get no honors. So that shows you that by the Lord getting dishonors, and they don't care about that. They just overlook that. They say, oh, they double honor all day because they're Jews outwardly. Deep down in the heart, they don't have nothing to do with the Lord. They don't. And so because they can't understand the breakdown of the heart, because they don't have a heart, they scoff at the idea of being in the covenant, because they think being in the covenant, you need a new body. Your body should change because they're carnally minded. So I want to go to this real quick, because you really got to understand that really the true mysteries, it hasn't been given to these corrupt motherfuckers. And it hasn't been given to the world like that. This is an inside thing. That's why, like, we're not out there. People hate us. They talk bad about us. And they're against the covenant. Because this ain't something for the world. Not even for the world of our people. The multitude of our people, they're going to perish in this time. Because they're not going to understand the mysteries of the heart of flesh, or the new covenant where Yahushua is. Now, they know, like, by Yahushua being taught, this would be the end of their world. So because they have a place in the world, they're trying to keep their place in the world together. Romans 16:25, it says, now to him that is of power to establish you according to my gospel and of the preaching of Yahushua Mashiach, according to the revelation of the mystery which was kept secret since the world began. So this is a secret. And the way you're going to tell that somebody's of the Lord, he's not going to be exalted outwardly. He's going to be honored of the Father inwardly, but outwardly, you're not going to be honored of the world. This is one of the ways to understand that the new covenant is not something of the world. So, of course, yeah, people are going to reject it because they don't have nothing to do with it. So the Lord, he was what? He was dishonored. He didn't receive honor like that. That's why the Lord said his honor, it wasn't of men, but it's of the Father. It is something inward. John 5. And it's heavy because you really got these guys they're really against the Lord in these last days. The Lord didn't get honors. You got guys getting double. So you got to understand that the new covenant is here. It's just not for all these guys in these groups. It's not something for everybody to understand. It is something that is going to get the praise of the Lord inwardly. Not something outwardly, but something inwardly. John 5:41, it says, I receive not honor from men, but I know that ye have not the love of the Lord in you. Right. So the Lord, he didn't receive honor of men. Matter of fact, he received dishonor. I'm trying to find that scripture where he said it. Yeah, here it is. John 8:47, it says, he that is of the Most High heareth God's words. Ye therefore hear them not, because you are not of God. Right? God don't hear us because they're not of the Lord. They're of the world. And so by them of being of the world, they're trying to keep their place of the world. And so by teaching of the new covenant, that'll take away their place of the world. Just like Yahushua in John 11, only thing they were worried about was their position in the world. They weren't worried about nothing else. Repenting, our people, the elect, they weren't worried about that. They were just worried about their position like they have right now, because they're of the world. They're Jews outwardly. They're Jews outwardly. They're not Jews inwardly. The false prophet are the Jews outwardly. The men of the Lord and the elect, we're ones inwardly. We're hidden. We're hidden with the hidden manner. This is another part of the mystery. This is some of the biggest parts of this whole mystery. Now, John 8:48, then answered the Jews and said unto him, say we not well that thou art a Samaritan and has a devil? And Yahushua answered, I have not a devil, but I honor my Father, and ye dishonor me. And I seek not my own glory. There is one that seeketh and judgeth right. So these guys are dishonoring Yahushua by not honoring his covenant right now in this body. So they're dishonoring the Lord the same way they dishonor him back then. And so that's what Romans is talking about. He is not a Jew that is one outwardly. He is one inwardly, because inwardly you're going to be of the Lord. Outwardly, you're going to be dishonored in the flesh. Now, if you're honored in the flesh, then that means that you're a false prophet and you're being honored of this world. This is the whole breakdown to that. That's why guys don't understand that the new covenant is here and the election is here, but they're dishonoring them because they're denying the covenant. They're breaking that breakdown is totally wrong. It's totally wrong. And to really understand that breakdown, you need a heart. So it's like, really, this is for the ones that actually have their heart and they understand who they are. This really ain't for just any old Israelite nigga in no group. You got to be of the elect to understand what we're saying. And another thing for you brothers that teach the new covenant, if you can receive it, you got to understand the new covenant is for the elect, and it's a hidden thing for you to figure out. It's not something that's going to be taught openly, because openly people ain't going to understand it like that. You know what I'm saying? This is something for you to understand that you're with God secretly, hidden of the heart. The heart is hidden. And you're going to be dishonored for teaching the new covenant, because the new covenant and teaching Yahushua, it helps closes things up. This is the only thing that's going to fulfill prophecy, the teaching of the new covenant. Now, the teaching of the new covenant, the teaching of the cross, is foolishness unto them. You see, like the brother brought out, it's foolishness. Because really, they're of the world and they were against Yahushua. So the teaching of the cross is going to be foolishness unto them. 1 Corinthians 1:18, for the preaching of the cross is unto... Right, the cross has to do with the new covenant. So they think it's foolish because they're carnal and they're of the world. They're of the They're being honored of men, and they're dishonoring the cross. They're dishonoring the new covenant. You see what I'm saying? Because they don't have nothing to do with it, because they're Jews outwardly. 1 Corinthians 1:18, for the preaching of the cross is unto them that is to them that perish foolishness, but unto us we are saved is the power of the Lord. You see that? So outwardly it's foolishness to these guys to preach the cross because they're not of the covenant, but unto us we know that it's power. So I want to go to another scripture real quick. So you got to understand these certain things, because the mystery that's been kept secret is the whole mystery is being made known unto us few. Now, the mystery, yeah, like our people, the other part, the lighter part of it is, yeah, you figuring out you're Israelite. Yeah, that was a mystery. But the deeper part of the mystery is understanding that you're the manifestation of the sons of power. And you can only manifest that inwardly, understanding that you're of the Lord. Now, the world's not going to accept that because they need a place in the world. And you being of power is not going to be accepted of this world. That's why they teach against it. That says Romans 16:25, now to him that is of power to establish you according to my gospel and the preaching of Yahushua Mashiach, according to the revelation of the mystery which is kept secret since the world began. And so what you got to understand is this part of it is a secret. Yeah, a lot of people going to know they're Israelites, but the heavier mystery is understanding that you're the election of God. And the true secrets is of Yahushua and of the new covenant. Everybody was waiting on the Lord to come because he brought a new covenant, which you can't fake being of the Lord. You have to be of the covenant. It has to be in your heart. You have to have that heart. And it's not something you're waiting on. It's in the side of a few of us, which is not for the world to get to understand like that. You know? Now the word mystery in this scripture.
Strong's G 3466, Mustadion.
Right, so this is a heavier mystery, understanding that you're of the power and you're of the elect, and that you have the heart nobody else has. That means when you have the heart when nobody else has, you're going to have the mind nobody has to really understand the breakdown of Yahushua, because that's where the real mysteries are in the new covenant. The mysteries really don't have shit to do with all these prophecies guys like to make it seem like that's so important, but the mystery of the elect is the most important thing, because it's not something that is going to be honored of the world. The only how you're honored of this world is that you're a false prophet, or that you don't have nothing to do with the Lord like that. That's the only how you're honored. The true honor comes from the Lord, and it is something hidden. Now that word mystery, it says a hidden thing, secret. Mystery, generally mysteries, religious secrets. It says confounded only to the initiated, confetted only to the initiated, and not the ordinary mortals. Right. So what we're teaching over here is not for ordinary guys in camps. These guys in these groups and churches and shit in these white gates, they're carnal. They're not spiritual because they don't have a new heart or a new mind. They're not the election. You see, or if they were the election, they'll be teaching the new covenant. It's just as simple as that. It says a hidden or secret thing, not obvious to the understanding. So this is something secret. And by guys knowing all these things, they know, though, to a certain extent, that they can't teach the new covenant like that because they're not a part of that. They're a part of the world. This is where they get their honor. So the only reason they teach against the new covenant, so they won't lose their place in the world. It says a hidden or a purpose or counsel. Right, this is a hidden counsel to what we're speaking over here. This ain't something that everybody's going to accept because everybody's not a part of it, because everybody haven't renewed their mind and they don't have the heart to. or the capacity to understand. It says secret will of men of God, the secret counsels which is governed in the Most High, and dealing with the righteous which are hidden from, it says, which are hidden from ungodly and wicked men, but plain to the godly. Right. The understanding of the breakdown of the new covenant is actually hidden from these wicked men of the world because their hearts are dark, because they're part of the world. So you have camps and guys, they know they're Israelites, they might know this breakdown, this, that, and the third, but the heavier matters of the law, which deal with mercy, discernment, and faith, they're not going to have those things because this is hidden from wicked men that have wicked hearts. These guys in these groups, these elders. So you got to understand that. It says, which are hidden from ungodly men and wicked men, but plain to the godly. You see, so this is what you got to understand. This is only for the initiated, not ordinary mortals. So the breakdown of the new covenant, it don't have nothing to do with camps, doctrine, and groups. The new covenant doctrine is a hidden doctrine for the elite because we were born with the things in us already. It's nothing we're waiting on. You just got to figure out that you're the elect and you have a place with the Lord, that you're part of that covenant, that you have that heart or the mind to understand Yahushua. Not everybody has that mind to understand Yahushua. Like if you're carnal, the things we're teaching is going to be a stumbling block to you because ultimately you don't have nothing to do with the new covenant. So yeah, you will laugh at it and you'll think it's a joke, but you need to be in the covenant with Yahushua right now to get through Jacob's trouble, which you're in trouble if you don't have the Lord. So guys are laughing at the idea that, yeah, we're in the new covenant right now. It started already. It's nothing carnal. It's nothing you need to see. A wicked generation, they need a sign. But us brothers that are chosen, that are special, we have everything in us that we know and we understand that we're chosen of the Lord, because we only see the things that we can see. And we can't really explain that to you guys in these fucking groups because you've been taught carnally how to look at things. You're waiting on carnal spiritual power. You're waiting on carnal bodies. And that scripture in 1 Corinthians 6:15, it don't tell you need a new body. Those bodies are going to come after the fact that you fully agree with Yahushua in this new covenant. For all you guys that's putting the covenant off, you're not going to get no new bodies. You're teaching false doctrine. And you can't be corrected because you're not of the elect. You're of the world. The preaching of the cross is foolishness unto you guys. The preaching of the cross is the new covenant. 1 Corinthians 2:15. But he that is spiritual judge of all things. And what does spiritual have to do with the new covenant? Love, discernment, mercy, faith. These are the spiritual qualities that are going to be written in the elect, written in your heart. It says, but he that is spiritual judge of all things, yet himself is judge of no man. Right, because we have love in our heart. If you don't have love in your heart, you can't judge anybody without love. You know. For who have known the mind of the Lord that he may instruct them, but we have the mind of the Lord. Right, so we have the heart and the mind of the Lord, which the world cannot receive that. Even if they got camps of guys that say they're teaching the truth, camps of guys are not receiving Yahushua in their heart, so they don't understand the mystery of the new covenant, which is a secret. This is the secret part. The new covenant isn't something that's going to be out there in mainstream because it ends the world. The power of the elect coming back to who they are, this help ends the world. And that's why we're at a time where we're at now. So the new covenant is not for you brutes. It's only for the initiated and the elites. All you fucking guys in these groups and you elders, you already received your consolation and your honor of this world. Remember, Yahushua, he was dishonored by those wicked scribes and Pharisees. The same thing you guys are doing right now because your honor is of this world. With that, Shalom.